y'all doing? Thanks so much for being here. You're listening to Xavier Del Castillo on tenor saxophone. Zach O'Farrell on drums. Walter Stinson on bass. And my name is Adam O'Farrell. We were Stranger Days. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. It's been really great pleasure to program the music series here. I appreciate the Art Center at Duck Creek for giving me the opportunity, and I hope that all of you have seen the past few concerts that have happened here. There's also a lot of great things coming up that Bill and I will talk about a little bit more after we're done playing. But you all have a really amazing place to come check out cool art, and I hope you're taking advantage of that. So thank you, Duck Creek. Appreciate it. We began with a piece of mine called the Proximity of Clouds. I wrote it on a farm in Maine, where it's, the elevation is a bit higher and you feel that closeness to the sky. And then we played a piece called Verboten Chant, which is written by Walter, and it appears on our 2018 album, El Maquetch. And then we played two pieces called Westward and Gesturing Towards the West, which we will release in some shape or form next year. We're going to continue with a piece called Stakra and some other pieces. This is from our last album, Visions of Your Other, from 2021. Thank you. Xavier Del Castillo on tenor sax. Walter Stinson on bass. Zach O'Farrell on drums. My name's Adam O'Farrell. We're Stranger Days. Thank you. That was a tune by Xavier called The Bellman. Before that, we played A Piece of Mind called Hueso. And we're just going to play a few more. Thanks again so much for being here. Really, really appreciate the opportunity to share this music with all of you. And please stick around to hear more about the series and upcoming shows that are happening here in the next coming months. Cool. Thank you very much.
Just deal with it. When they tell you fuck you, just gotta take it.
Thank you. Walter Stinson on bass. Zach O'Farrell on drums. And Xavier Del Castillo on tenor sax. And my name is Adam O'Farrell. This is Stranger Days. Thank you very much. I think we're going to have a little post-concert talk. Cool.
All right, give Adam and Stranger Days a hand. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this part of the talk is sponsored by NISCA, which has put on a community outreach series, funding to help share with the community the amazing work that Duck Creek and all the artists who have been showing at Duck Creek have been putting on. And Adam, you're our music director or curator, yeah. And tell us the story for how that came about. How did that relationship start?
I played here 3 times before. First time was summer 2021, I believe, with Kevin's son, and Walter was also on that gig. And then I played last year I played twice. I played with my band, and I also played with Manuel Wilkins. So been here a couple of times and met Jess and the rest of the team through those performances. So yeah, and yeah, I was excited to be able to curate. It's cool to kind of like see how different perspectives kind of mix and be in the same space together. You know. Yeah.
So what kind of what do you have in store for the rest of the season? We had some amazing shows so far with like La Manga was here, Colombian folklore band. That was awesome. And then yeah, what's up? What's coming up? What are you excited about? I guess that's really what best thing we could share with everybody.
Sure. I believe next week, right? We have Casa Overall, who I met playing in Stefan Crump's band. He's a great drummer, but he's also a really amazing MC and makes films. Kind of just a generally brilliant artist, brilliant storyteller that I think is kind of doing something that very few other people in jazz or hip hop or I don't know. It's just the way he's bringing together all these influences is very, very natural, very organic to his personality. So I think that's really exciting. In August, we have Rajana Swaminathan, who's a mrundungam player, which is this Indian drum that you sit on the ground to play and you put it on a pillow, and it has two sides with skin that the percussionist plays both sides of each of her hands, and very deep, resonant sound, and she's kind of really rhythmically very brilliant, very mixing a lot of Carnatic tradition with more modern jazz tradition and elements of classical music. And Karu Watanabe is playing in August, and he's an amazing Japanese multi-instrumentalist. I think he'll be playing solo, and he'll be bringing various flutes and various drums. And his work is cool because it kind of straddles the line between improvisation and working within existing structures in terms of like pieces that are derived from different types of Japanese theater. So it's a cool blend of like in the moment and like years and years of precedence. September I'll be playing here with Anna Weber's band. Anna Weber is an amazing Canadian saxophonist and flautist and composer. She has a new project called Shimmer Wince, which deals with microtonality, and which is kind of how would I explain? The way she titled that band was that the sounds that she would get from mixing these microtones would.
What is a microphone?
Microtone is like the notes in between the notes, kind of like traditional Western notation is usually just half steps and whole steps, and microtones are all the notes like beyond even quarter tones, like digging into smaller than that, like very incremental movement and pitch. And basically, it's as much of a experimentation with pitch as it is with texture and the way that these notes sound on certain instruments. And also the instrumentation of the ensemble is very unique because it's saxophone, cello, synthesizer, drum set, and trumpet. And so it's, kind of a spin on like the traditional like jazz quintet with 2 horns and ribbon section, except it's synthesizer instead of piano and cello instead of bass. And it's very cool. And I'm really excited to that album. We recorded an album that's coming out in October, so this will be like a performance kind of in anticipation of that. And then the final show of the season is great bassist, composer Mali Abamsawin, whose music derives from indigenous culture and melodies and kind of, arranging songs from her ancestors. And she has a sextet. I believe it's called Sweet Tooth. And Zach will be playing on that show as well. And that music is really cool. It's kind of similar to Kauru's music, like a really beautiful blend between improvisation and years of tradition. But, there's something about the simplicity of the melodies that kind of lends itself to very natural interpretation that feels kind of recalling a little bit people like Ornette Coleman, just in terms of the elasticity of the way the melodies are being played, the way she sings them, and the way the horns kind of come together on those melodies. And just really, she's kind of bringing a culture to this music that is threatened, like indigenous culture is just, so it's really great that she's sharing that on a broader level,
For all the people who are getting into music, want to become musicians, what is, for you, visiting a couple of these shows this summer, how do you think that would impact how has that impacted you to go out to see the sort of music you've curated for us here at Duck Creek?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, for you as you developed as a musician, how did going out to see music like you've curated here at Duck Creek, how did that impact you for all of the young musicians who are on the East End who are looking to become musicians?
Well, I feel lucky to live in New York where there's always things happening every night, and there's always things to see. Some of these bands are people that I've just seen play in New York and really liked it a lot and hit them up. Some of them, like I said, like Casa, Anna, Albert, who was here a couple weeks ago, are people that I've known for a long time and have worked with and just have a very genuine admiration for their own work as band leaders. And, it's kind of trying to find the right balance between people that I have like a personal connection to and people that I just really, really look up to, but all with sort of the purpose of finding people who I think are trying to accomplish different things with their music, trying to like have their music function on different levels, like kind of with like Karu and the theatricality of that, and Molly with talking about her ancestry, Albert with Keith Lamar and spreading that message, people who Anna, even though it's very much music, it's still like progressing what music is, like what theory is, what sound is, in a way that it doesn't have more of like an externally political or cultural kind of impetus, but it is something that I think if a common listener hears it, they will be like, whoa, okay, it's like just the sound of that music is very otherworldly, and I think that's just as important. I think it's just as important to cultivate literally like new sounds in this music as it is to deliver music that carries a more external message. Yeah.
All right. What's that? And we've got a benefit coming up. So no, being musicians. Okay. Just getting to know your music. You had mentioned that that you curated this sort of season because each musician was trying to do something different with their music. So what are you trying to do with your music? And then tell us a little bit about your past.
What am I trying to do with my music? That's a good question. And it's something I actually have been thinking about a lot. I just watched, that show BoJack Horseman, the Netflix show. Yeah. Kind of interesting because it's something that on the surface is very, very entertaining, or it just looks like this cartoon, this adult cartoon that's just, very, very, silly or whatever, crazy world, but it actually really kind of, deals with certain real life issues as to, mental health issues, emotional health issues in a very, very nuanced way. And I think it's interesting that something can kind of be both entertaining and kind of eye-catching, but also very grounded in reality. And I don't really know. I don't know how. I don't have like a formula for how I'm doing that with my music, but that's a goal at least. It's just to kind of like, kind of to develop my technique, my vocabulary, my knowledge of my craft. As a composer, as a writer. As a composer, as a player. But kind of not hide, I guess, like what I'm feeling in a certain period of time, just to like kind of honestly convey that, whether it's like very, very good place or very bad place, just kind of trying to let that come through as much as possible, because I think even with music, as something as abstract as music, just because it's notes, I think it is very possible to communicate a lot of emotion and I think it's despite it just being notes, there's a lot of possibility in sort of the communication and the storytelling and the messaging just in the music itself. And I think so I guess it's a circuitous journey to say that I want to keep learning, keep growing, keep honing my craft, and keep living life, and kind of open myself to the trials and tribulations of life, and just let that course through me in the music. So yeah.
Here's what's a piece of advice you have for young musicians, and in the context, because we haven't mentioned for your like growing up with like you grew up with musicians in a music family. Tell us a little bit about your music family, and then what do you think is a piece of advice you could give to someone who didn't grow up in a music family? Like, what's something you took away from growing up in a music family? Who were they? And then like, what's something you could offer to somebody? I think we can wrap up with that.
My advice to any young musicians would probably just be to let yourself be free. Follow. If you like the sound of something, trust your gut, trust your instinct. I think there's a lot of pressure in terms of how to play, what to listen to, and I would suggest that nobody gives into that pressure if you're a young musician. Just, if you like something, you like it. And in terms of having musicians as parents, it was good, just to kind of see up close a lot of different aspects of what being a musician is, from, just practicing and working at home to the hustle of gigging and, and kind of teaching and kind of seeing it on these multiple levels was very informative. it didn't sway me from not being a musician, I guess, you know. And but yeah, they've given me advice. I mean, it's kind of hard to pick one thing, you know. But I think some, you know, they've always encouraged me to like really go for it, you know, like creatively. You know, they yeah, very very supportive, you know. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming out. If there's, just wanted to also tell everybody there is a benefit on the 15th. If you can come out and support Duck Creek, that would be great. And thank you so much for coming out. It was an amazing show tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers.